Hello, everyone. It is Monday, March the 14th, 2022. My name is Shelly, and this is FlossTube number 87. Welcome to my channel, Proverbs 31:22. If you're new here, I'm so happy that you came to check out my channel. I hope you see something that you like, and hit the like button and the subscribe button, and let me know what you've been stitching down in the comments below. So, and if you're a returning friend, hello, everybody. I love you guys. You just really make my week doing these videos as well as watching your videos. Yeah, for those that make them. And then interacting with everybody in the comments. Okay, so if you're new, I do my videos vlog style in the fact that I record daily. Usually maybe every other day, sometimes just twice a week. Depends on what I've got going on and or how I'm feeling physically. So I do that all week, and then I upload one video at the end of the week. So this video is going to be a little bit more multi-craftual than usual. I've got some cross stitching to show you, but I've also got some hand quilting, some embroidery, some machine quilting, some crochet. So quite a lot of different things. So I was going to say that for those of you that were here for last video, I kind of shared a little bit about my doctor's appointments last week. I've went up on my Savella dose and my hips feel better. So I guess that's what it was. I mean, I did put Voltaren gel, which is an anti-inflammatory gel, on once. I kind of doubt that just that one application made them feel that better. So I'm thinking that it was the Savella, going up on the Savellas made them feel better. So thank you, God, because getting up was just painful. And so, you know, standing up was just like, don't do it. So cross stitching wise, I did finish my letter Q for the Erica Michaels sampler book. I'm doing this along with Rachel Q Stitches. She's hosting the EMABC sale, and the patterns are free for the inside of the book. The patterns are free on Rainbow Gallery. Erica Michaels did re-release the pattern in its entirety and includes instructions on finishing as a book. And that is my plan. I'm going to finish it as a book. So each block has a letter, a motif that starts with that letter, and then a stitch that starts with that letter. So this was the queen. Q was for queen and queen stitch. So the queen stitches are the corners, the top of the crown, and then the earrings. And you probably can't tell a whole lot how you make it. They weren't really hard to make. I just, it's like you had to, you know, like put your thread in the top, put your thread in the bottom, but don't pull it all the way, and then come up in the middle so that you could, like, you know, cinch it over. And I would just have to think, okay, which direction do I have to go to switch it up, cinch it over, you know, like pull it off to the side and then anchor it down. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to follow, but it was. So I'm doing all of these on a 28 count Monaco that I have some that I've left like the natural color. I have an antique white and then a white, but most of them I have hand dyed. These are really taking longer than where I really want to dedicate to them, but it is what it is. So I also did some stitching on my Ukrainian bookmark. Over in the Crafty Matriarch group on Facebook, Cheryl's come up with Stitch Your Daily Age. I guess it's hashtag daily age. Basically, you put, you know, however many years you are, that's how many stitches you put in. And so I've just been really limiting myself to 56 stitches in this every day. And it's really been neat. Like I have an album in that group, and then like each time I finish 56, I do a comment under the original picture. And, um, it's really been neat to just sort of see it come to life by just putting 56 stitches in a day. So this is from Cliffside Stitches. It is a freebie in support of the people of Ukraine. Cliffside Stitches does a lot of, they do cross stitch patterns that reflect the, the motifs, the needlework motifs of different countries. I did stitch some on my MLK sampler. I'll insert a picture of that here. This is from Stone Street Stitchworks, and this is my version. So I started this on January 15th, Dr. King's birthday, and I am planning to finish it on April the 4th, which is the anniversary of his assassination. So I'm doing this on a 32 count Murano Carré in the color Ice from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just doing my own choices of over-dyed flosses. I needed a little bit more color. I'm not a brown person at all, and so I had to do something with some color. So I basically have this divided up into weekly goals of, how many rows I need to get done. I think I'm like shy of where I want it to be on one side, but I'm beyond on another side, on the other side. And so I think I'm good as far as, keeping sort of caught up so that I can get that done, by my goal date. If I don't, it's not the end of the world, but I do like to set goals so that I can get more stitched. So I did put a few stitches in my Flowers and Bees stitch along. I'll insert a picture of the part that I'm working on here. So this is a free stitch along from Doreen Jones, and I am currently working on part number 6. She has released part number 7 and 8. There's 10 altogether, so I'm going to be behind, which is fine. I do want to work on this week to try to get, some stitches put in it every day. So this is a 14 count printed Ada that I picked up at Michael's from DMC, and I'm using the DMC called 4 flosses, 2 strands. And then my Whipco pieces this month, they were both supposed to be stitched on this week, this past week. I only stitched on one yesterday, and the other one is something that I've stitched on last month as my my daily piece, where I put one length of floss in. That's what I was doing. Now I'm going to start doing the 56, stitch your age. So the goal that I had set for Whipco was to finish a house on that, and then 3 little hearts, 2 or 3 little heart motifs that I hadn't done. I got the house done last month, so all I have to do is put those little hearts in, which will take no time at all. So I will stitch on that, sometime before the end of the month. So Whipco is it's a group on Facebook. It's just a fun way to, get you to work on your stuff. You basically put your projects, whatever projects you want to work on, and the goals that you want to set for them on a bingo type board. And then every month, Jessie Marie, who's the founder of Whipco, she calls 2 numbers. And so you work on those. A lot of people will do it over the whole year. I did my goals real small. This is my first year doing Whip Go, and I didn't want to set outrageous goals. And so I set really small, achievable goals with the thought that I want to do them, I want to get them done in the month that they're called. So one of the numbers that was called for me was Nativity Silhouette. This is a magazine piece, so let me insert a picture. And so I'm stitching it on 14 count chalkboard black Ada. My goal is to get the sky done until it touches the top of the stable. I am planning to leave the stable and the silhouette of the Holy Family unstitched since I'm stitching it on black. That'll save me some stitches. Hopefully it'll look okay. This isn't a true black fabric, so I may not like it. I may have to go in and stitch black, but hopefully I don't. So I got some stitches put in on that yesterday. I will stitch again on that today and tomorrow, and hopefully I will have met my goal by then. So that is what I cross-stitched for the week. So over in the Crafty Matriarch, Cheryl's doing a really good job of coming up with different fun activities for us. And so she's come up with like daily themes. This is the first week that we've done daily themes. And so she put those up, I guess, yesterday or the day before. So each day you try to fit your stitching, or, if it's not your stitching, a poem or, a picture of something that makes you think of that theme. So in addition to that, one of the members over there is Rachel of Rachel Q Stitches. She's the one that's hosting the EMABC Sal. If you haven't checked out her channel, please go check her out. I love watching her every week. She's my one. When I see it pop up, I'm watching Rachel right now. And so she came up with something to challenge herself. It's a daily challenge, and she picked, 2 or 3, 4, I don't know how many she picked, different types of crafts and a daily goal that she wants to meet. And so I think that's a fabulous idea. I think it's, like I commented on her post, I'm so overwhelmed with the amount of, quilts that I have in progress, and I'm not working on any of them. And I think it's just because it's overwhelming to me. And so, coming up with a small daily goal should be achievable. And it should be easy to even go beyond that goal every day if I want to, if I have time, if I feel okay. So the things that I've come up with, I want to do 3 rows of crochet daily. So I've been working on a Afghan for Project Linus. We do meet once a week and sew here in the community where I live. However, I have not had it in me to, drag out the machine and all the stuff that goes with it and haul that, to the church, stitch for 5 or 6 hours and then bring it home and have to put it all back. My sewing machine's in a drop-in cabinet, and so I don't think I'm gonna be sewing like that until I get a machine that's designated that stays just to travel with. So in lieu of sewing something, I started crocheting a baby blanket. And so yesterday I put probably 2.5 rows. I had started 1 row at our last stitch meeting, and so I finished that row and then put 2 more. So this is from a magazine. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the magazine. For my magazines, I use Readly, and there will be a affiliate link below. If you decide, you sign up, I think you get a free month and I get a free month if you sign up through my link. Basically what it is, I pay about $12 a month, and you have access to a gazillion magazines. So they have quite a few, you know, crochet, they have quite a few quilting, quite a few cross-stitch magazines. You know, they have Birds and Blooms, they have Victoria magazine, they have Romantic Homes. I think they have Romantic Homes, maybe they don't. But they have something that's like shabby chic. I think it's called Cottage Living or something like that. But you know, they have all of that, you know, plus like, you know, um, model car making, you know, science type magazine. I mean, just basically anything you can think of. And so they don't have punch needle and primitive stitcher, of course, because I mean, that's sort of an independent, I don't know, small, I guess, small type company. They don't have that one on there, but they have Just Cross Stitch. They have 3 or 4 of the UK cross stitch magazines, and so that's where I get a lot of my patterns. I go through them when they come out each month and kind of bookmark things that I like. I do participate over in the monthly magazine challenge group on Facebook. I haven't been doing the acrostics a whole lot lately, but they are having a pop-up challenge later this month where you have to stitch on your whip that's closest to being done. I thought that was Hip Hop Jar, but it's actually going to be Jessie Watson. And so I will stitch on Jessie Watson sometime between the 21st and 28th to get that finished up. This is the last month for that stitch along. So, so that was my crochet goal. I do have a goal of finishing 2 units of machine quilting daily. And so I was working on a Christmas quilt. I've put that away. I only have 1 block left, but I really wasn't in the mood to work on Christmas anymore. So this is a quilt kit that I bought from Crafty back when they had merchandise that they sold. I have quite a few quilt kits from them. Quite a few. Whenever they would have a good sale, I would snap them up. And so this one I started working on for my dad. And then I think I started working on it in 2019 with the goal of giving it to him for Father's Day 2020. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, you know, my quilting went by the wayside, and he died before I could get it finished and give it to him. So that really disappointed me, you know, but it is what it is. So I'm going to finish it though and make it for my brother. So far I've gotten, you know, basically the center part done into this white border that goes around the very center. I have all of the fish blocks done. And then I started working yesterday on these little corner blocks. And so I got all 4 of these top units done yesterday. So, and this is from my Christmas one, but just ignore it. Everything's falling. So I got these done, and then today I'll work on these. Now, whether or not I'll get, you know, all 4 of them done, I don't know. My goal is to get 2 of them done. And so, you know, hopefully just these little bitty bite-sized pieces of things will, you know, kind of whet my appetite to kind of do more every day. But if I don't feel like doing more, or I have time crunched or whatever, you know, it's only small little bite-sized pieces. So I also have a quilt that I'm doing that I'm piecing by hand. And so I have a goal of doing 2 seams on that quilt each day. And so I'm working on 2 different Sarah Filkey Block of the Months from several years ago. And so they've just fallen by the wayside. And so I have goals on, daily goals on these 2 pieces. So hopefully I can move them along. I'll try to find a picture of Grasshopper Quilt to insert here of, you know, just an online picture maybe of hers that she did. And then this is the block that I worked on yesterday. I don't want it to fall off. So I did 2 seams on that yesterday. And so this block also fit in with the daily themed piece that Cheryl came up with for yesterday, which was jewel tones. It was jewel day, and you had to, you know, show something with jewel tones, either stitch something or, you know, whatever. And so that was my jewel tone activity. I also am working on her Simple Folk quilt. I'll insert a picture of that here. And so this is a quilt that has applique on it, needle turn applique, and you know I love applique quilts when I see them. I absolutely hate doing it, but I wanted to do this block of the month because I thought that, you know, learning from her, you know, learning some tricks and tips, practicing more, you know, that I would get better at it. That wasn't the case. I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not horrible, but my circles, my curves never come out like they're supposed to. And so, you know, I think I did all of the inside blocks of that quilt with the applique. I may have 1 or 2 that I haven't done, but we also were supposed to put applique pieces in the border. And so this is like the block. I'm doing mine in Moda Solids. Really bright colors. I mean, you see that right there? That little point, that's not supposed to be there. This little point looks like crap. And I know I'm nitpicking, but you know, people that don't quilt, you know, they'll look at it and go, "Oh my God, that's beautiful. What are you complaining about?" You know, I don't see anything wrong with it, that kind of thing. And I, you know, totally agree with that when it's someone else doing it. But when it's me doing it, it's like, you know, I nitpick at it, and, you know, I really want to see improvement, and I didn't see improvement. So when it got time to start working on the borders, I said, I can't. Like, it was going to have to be, you know, a circle applique here. You know, this was going to be bias taped applique down, and then, you know, circular type shapes for the leaves. And so I said, to hell with that. I'm going to embroider it. And so I am doing it chunky. I'm doing all 6 strands of DMC floss. The leaves are actually a blend of 2 colors, 3 strands each. I do plan to big stitch quilt this, and so, you know, I kind of wanted that chunky look. So this is some stick-on stabilizer that you draw your pattern on, stick it down to your fabric, and then it washes away. So my goal is to do 1 motif daily, which I would consider, you know, a leaf is a motif. So I got 2 of those done yesterday. And I can show you one of the other blocks that I did before. This is what it will look like. And, you know, I had to wet it to get the stabilizer off, and I haven't dried it. So, but this is that block that goes next to that border part. So there's some other, like there were several options on the border. So like in between these little leaf swags, I think it's supposed to be like flowers. And so the other option was to do animals. So I haven't decided which I'm going to do, but whatever I do, I'm going to, you know, draw it on the stabilizer and embroidery it instead of hand appliquing it. So let's see. Okay, so my other daily goal is to do one set of arcs on my younger daughter's quilt. I'm working on a quilt for her that was supposed to be for her 30th birthday. She's going to turn 32 this year. So I was thinking earlier, maybe I'll have it done for her 35th. I don't know. But I have been working on it more faithfully recently. I've kind of left it out on the bed where I stitch in the evenings, and it's sort of like it's right there in front of me. You need to get it out and work on it. And so I kind of fell off of that a little bit this past week, but I did stitch on it yesterday, and I do have that goal of getting one set of arcs done. That quilt is huge. And so maybe what I'll do is when I stop this, I'll go in there and try to get, a little video of it so you can see at least part of it and what I'm talking about. So those are my daily challenge pieces. And, I love it. I'm hoping that, I can stick with it, that it encourages me to work on some of these other crafts that I love to do. So, today's daily theme in the group is butterflies. And so I have Doreen Jones's garden stitch along that I participated in a few years ago that's not finished. The sail's finished, but I'm not finished. But it has a butterfly on it, so I'll stitch on that today. And, go about my day doing all my different things. So I think that's all I've got for you guys. I will see you on the next little snippet. Okay, so here is my daughter's quilt. So it's pulling down onto the floor there. Goes all the way across the width of this queen size bed. And then goes, keeps going. And then it's hanging off a little bit over there on that end. So I think right in, I don't know how to point to it. Right in here is about, well, maybe right in here, is about the center of the quilt. And so I'm almost halfway there. But yeah, still got a lot to do. So these are the arcs that I'm doing. I'm doing 6 arcs in blues and greens and turquoise type colors. And if I can get one of those done a day, at least, I'll make progress on it. That's the main thing, is to not let it just sit there and go by the wayside. This is another kit that I got from Crafty when they were having a sale. I probably paid about, probably about $60 for this whole, pattern and all the material to make the quilt, except for the back. I had to buy the backing. Hello, everybody. I'm back to give you an update. Today is Tuesday, March the 15th. Whoa, beware the Ides of March, right? The theme for today in Crafting Matriarch is that the Ides of March. And so I did a little bit of reading on that last night. And it's pretty interesting to read all the different things that happen on March 15th throughout the years. So if you're interested in all in history, go and check that out. I think what I'm going to do as far as my daily challenge things, I'm not going to show you every day. I'll show you what I do every day in cross stitch, but I feel like if I do all of those 5 other things, it's going to make my video too long. And so I'll basically give you a report each day, and then at the end of the week, I'll show you what I got accomplished. So yesterday in my daily challenges, I did everything except for hand quilt on my daughter's quilt. I got started stitching a little bit later yesterday, and I just kept cross stitching. So, but I did do my other things: my crochet, my machine work, my hand piecing, and my embroidery. So I did get an order in yesterday right after I got done filming. I ordered some scissors from a place on Etsy. It's called DIY Order is the name of the shop. I've been wanting some like flat black scissors, and so these were not really exactly what I wanted. I would have liked something a little bit more fancy, but for the price, I went ahead and just got these. And then some oil slick little stork scissors, which I absolutely love. I mean, come on, y'all. I've wanted some like this for a while too. And then these have been on my radar for a long time as well. These um, silver, just pretty filigree scissors. I kind of really bought the silver ones for me to put my scissor fob that Denise made me over at Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. I'll get this pulled off of here and then you can see what it looks like on the silver. I just put lotion on my hands, so. And since I've had COVID, my coordination is like not there at all. I can't, I can't hardly go a day or a minute or an hour without dropping something or knocking something over, that kind of thing. So I think that looks pretty good. And these are hefty. Like, that's pretty thick. So that came in. I did order a pattern from Doreen Jones. I'll insert a picture of that cover here. And so I had favorited that in her shop, and she sent me a coupon for 20% off. And so I went ahead and snapped it up. I think it was like $4 or something like that. And I think it's just so cute. So, what did I stitch on last night? I did finish my Whip Go piece, the Nativity Scene. And that was part of the reason why I didn't stitch on my daughter's quilt also, is that once I started stitching on this and I saw I just had a little bit more to go, and it was easy because I was down to like one color so I could just fill in. I went ahead and got it finished. I was supposed to stitch on this again today, but I don't have to because I caught up to where, I got my goal met for Whip Go. So, and I think it's going to look okay with the stable unstitched. I really do. So I got that done. And then yesterday for the theme and the crafting matriarch group, it was Butterfly Day. And so I stitched on my Doreen Jones garden sow. And that's what I got done. So I'm not doing a really good job of paying attention to what's on my WhipGo board and stuff like that. But it doesn't really matter. Like, if you meet a goal before it's called, when it's called, you've met it. So this is on my WhipGo board. I realized this morning when I went to mark off the Nativity Silhouette piece. So this is on my WhipGo board, and what I had down for my goals for that was to finish the hedgehog block and to do the birds. So I've gotten a good bit done towards my goal on that. So whenever this is called, I'll be good to go. Good to just finish those little birdies up. Aren't they so cute? So this is a 22 count, sort of like even weave. I don't know what it is, honestly. It has such a weird look to it. It's sort of like a cross between Aida and even weave. I thought 22 count was hard anchor cloth, but this doesn't look like you could do hard anchor with it. But I've never done it, so I don't know. But anyway, I picked up this fabric at Michael's, like when I first came back to stitching. And I'm doing my own DMC color conversion. Hers was more blue in color, and so I'll just switch it out for the purples. I love it. It's so pretty. I can't wait till I'm done with that. so I can display it. I did stitch a little bit on my Ukrainian bookmark. Got my 56 stitches in for yesterday. And I almost got done with that flower motif down here at the bottom. So pretty soon, I think this is going to be done. Because like I said, I'm going to have to stop it right above right here, and I'll do the same thing on the bottom. I think that's it. I think that's all I stitched on. Besides my, my daily challenge pieces. Yes, that's it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, it's Wednesday the 16th, and I thought about not filming today, or at least not appearing on camera, because it was a rough night a little bit last night, and so yeah, I figured I'd just get over myself and just come on here without any makeup. So yesterday I forgot to mention that Kim, our older daughter, had to go to Huntsville to help take care of her sister-in-law's baby. Kim and Dwayne and the boys, they were sick a while back with like flu type stuff, and then this past couple of days, or within the last week, they were sick with like a stomach virus. And so they weren't really around his sister, but evidently it's going around because she got sick and her husband was out of town, so she needed someone to come help take care of the baby. So Kim went and did that yesterday, and she was supposed to be coming home last night, and she ended up spending the night because the husband got home and he was sick too. So I ended up having to go and pick up Nathan bring him to his basketball PE class, and bring him and pick him up and stuff like that. And then Malachi had his first tournament game last night. And so it was kind of I don't know, I didn't do a whole lot of stitching because we weren't home a whole lot. I did get all of my daily challenge things done, except for quilting on Lakin's quilt once again. But like when Nathan's here, I clear out the bed where I stitch in the evening so he can sleep in there, and they did spend the night last night. So I had to clear all that off, and it's just, I don't know. And like I said, we weren't home. We got home at like 8 o'clock or something like that, 7:30. So, I was going to say something else and it just left me. I don't know. But anyway, what I stitched on yesterday is something that I want to try to have done for Easter. And that is Hands On Designs Hip Hop Jar. This is the series that she collaborated with Priscilla Blaine of Stitching with the Housewives on. And I just think it's so cute. So, I started this back in March of 2020 with a goal of finishing it March of 2021. Well, that didn't happen. So I'm trying to get it finished for this this Easter, which is next month. So, I had, last night I just worked a little bit on the jar. I had some of it done toward the top, and I just started bringing it down. I'm using the called for flosses on a 14 count chalkboard black Ada. And this will also count for my challenge for today. I'm going to stitch on this again today. The daily challenge over in Crafty Matriarch group is Giant Panda Day. So it's stitched with black and white. So I figured that, they got the black fabric and the white bunnies. So I'm good to go on that. So, what was I going to say a minute ago? It's terrible. Like things come in my brain and just immediately go right back out. I don't remember. So, that's all I've got to show you guys for today. And so I will see you tomorrow. Hello, everyone. Today is Tuesday, March 22nd. This is my second time filming this. I've got a new setup to film with, and I got it so that I could film overhead. I've been wanting to do that since I got my iPad, to be able to do tutorials and things like that, to be able to film facing down, if I'm not camera ready, without having to hold the iPad. And then I also had a company reach out to me to do an unboxing video of one of their products. So it's not here yet, but I'm ready when it comes. So also, what I want to do is let this be my filming area direction, but I want to make it prettier. So my plan is to have my husband take down this pegboard in this room, which is the former master in this house. Yes, I've turned my master bedroom into a craft room. I have two walk-in closets. One is actually a closet, and then the other has it has like a desk in there. It has my printer, and it has like all of my cross-stitch finishing stuff. It has all of my quilting whips, things like that. So I'm planning to ask him, or I already did ask him, but we just haven't, like, I had to clear all my counter off in here. First of all, I've got to move stuff around in there so that he can get to it. And so, I'm just not ready for him to tackle that yet. So, but he's going to move that into that closet, and we're going to put a rod on the wall behind me instead, and it will hang quilts. So that way it'll free up my design wall to hold quilts that I'm actually like working on, because right now I'm working on that Out to Sea one, and I can't put the whole thing on there because I have the Goodness Grows hanging up and taking up 3/4 of it. So it'll also, like, those windows are on that wall, and I usually film like off to this side, and I'll get the glare from the windows on my glasses. I've kind of worked around that with getting some presentation boards that I use kind of as a shield, but I really would like to not have to do that. And I really want to film this way to have a quilt behind me. So all of that to say that I have a new stand for my camera. I actually didn't have a stand before. And I filmed a while ago, and it, was like right here. I don't know. It's like when you film, it looks different. The ratio is not the same for some reason than when you play it back. So anyway, so it's been, almost a week since I filmed. I filmed last Wednesday morning. Early Thursday morning, like around 2 a.m., I woke up and was really, really nauseated. Got up to go to the kitchen, to the medicine cabinet, to get some Finnegan to take, and I didn't made it to the kitchen door, and it was like, okay, I don't have time for this right now. And I didn't even make it back to the bathroom before I was, vomiting. So, yeah, I was up, I don't even know how long. I know I called my doctor's office. I called the answering service around, probably around 6 o'clock, because like the Finnegan it wasn't working on the nausea at all. It was just working on making me really sleepy. And so, it's really hard to like be in the bathroom, throwing up and diarrhea while you feel like, you want to go to sleep. So, but anyway, it wasn't working to stop it. And so I called her answering service to find out, make sure that I could take a Zofran, on top of the Finnegan that I'd already taken. And so she told me that I could. Usually Finnegan works great for me, better than Zofran, but for some reason this time the Zofran worked better. So once I got some Zofran in me, it kind of got better. I didn't throw up anymore. But man, I just felt really, really nauseated. So on Thursday, my husband stayed home to take care of me. Thank God, because I don't know how I would have done it if he hadn't. I just was not in any shape to do anything really. And so I didn't do a lot of stitching at the end of last week. I did stitch some on Saturday. I did stitch some Sunday and Monday. I do have an FFO to show you guys. And so, yeah, I'm here to do an update. So let's see. Let me show you. I have everything in reverse order now. Not that it really matters, but I did stitch on the hip hop jar and got it almost finished on Saturday. I mean, I'm so close, but I just ran out of gas. And so I need to do the Smyrnas and these flowers on this side. I need to do the straight stitches that connect those. And then I need to do the back stitching and straight stitching on the little bunnies. And then I will be done. I'm hoping to have this FFO'd by the end of the month so that I can display it next month for Easter month. So that's all I stitched on Saturday. Then on Sunday, I worked on my MLK sampler and got it caught up to where I wanted it to be. And so that's a look at that. I got, all I have left to do is, there's another divider down here. And then there's the words to finish the quote, which is, the time is always right to do what is right. And then I've got to do the border. So I know that Candy over at the 614 Stitcher, she had personalized this a little bit with some of Dr. King's information. I may put that in there, include that in there somewhere. I haven't decided yet. I mean, it'd be easy enough to do his, date of death and date of birth on these sides, going vertically. We'll see. But I was just really glad to have that caught up and not be behind on it. Now, I haven't stitched any on my Ukrainian Bookmark, which is my 56 stitches a day piece. I haven't stitched any more on the Flowers and Bees stitch along. I did finish up my, get caught up on my temperature chart yesterday. And I love the way it looks. We've had some really crazy temperatures, like 60s one day, high 20s the next day. So, and I think we're probably going to do that again because it's in the low 70s today and we're expecting severe weather to come through, and I'm sure it's going to be cold tomorrow. So that temperature chart, by the way, if I haven't set it, I don't think I have on this video because I haven't worked on it since I haven't worked on it since I filmed, since I started filming this one. Where was I going with my train of thought? Oh, it's from Apricot Polka Dot. It seems like I've already put it on this video, but honestly, it's all just running together. Especially since, like, the last one I've had to do over 2 weeks. This one will also be over 2 weeks. It just is what it is. So this week also was Miss Elizabeth Weston's turn to come out and play. I'm so happy when she comes out to play. She gets to play for about a week. 5 or 6 days is usually what I allot. I really think I probably need to allot, for sure 6, maybe 7. I have put in, let me look up real quick and tell you how many how many stitches I've put in her just over the last couple of days. So, Elizabeth, where are you? So I've put in 1,140 stitches on her over the last 2 days. And I'm still have quite a ways to go. So I'm working in, okay, let me get my sides right. I'm working in this area right here. So I had to do all of that shelf right there. I also have part of this basket, which you can barely see because of the color of the thread. I've got some more of that to get it down to the bottom to touch the shelf. I've gotten half of this flower done. I've not gotten any of the, any of the stem or anything done. And I've got to do like this little motif and then the top of the bird. I think it ends about right here is where the page ends. Somewhere like in there. So it's quite a bit of stitching. And so, I may need to add another day to this, but I usually just, adjust what I'm doing to accommodate. So this is the little shelf. I got the vine all the way over and actually passed and onto the next page, and then started working on this flower. Now I'm off on my count up here, like it's too close to the shelf. I actually had to cut some stitches out, just like one stitch out, but it's still too close to the shelf, or it's closer than it was supposed to be. But I did count down on the pattern, from the stem to the vine, and the stem's going to have to be a little bit longer. So, it's falling in the right place as far as the vine goes. So I'm very happy about that. But I love stitching on her. I'm going to do a little pan so you can see. All of her. Hopefully that was it, yeah. So, and I'm, trying to get a page finish on her every month. So, that is what I stitched on. I did FFO my spring ABCs yesterday, and I'll do a little pan of it. And then I'll show you up close on the different areas. So this is the 36 count mushroom from Zweigart. I'm using my own choices of overdyed flosses. I think there may be one brown that I used that was called for, and then I did use the called for on the house, which I also used on this windy word. So I got off somewhere, like these letters are too far over. Everything's supposed to line up, and these don't, so it makes it look a little uneven down at the bottom. But honestly, if someone notices that, then more power to you, I guess. I don't know. Like, this sitting, I want to hang it, but I don't have a piece yet to affix it to. I want to do washers and magnets to affix it to a piece that I can change out each season, because I do have all 4 of these. But anyway, I just have it leaning up in my living room, and if someone notices that gap, that wonky lookingness, then they'll just have to be disappointed, I guess. I love it. I think it's just so pretty. And it really doesn't take long to stitch. I stitched this over 3 months, and then 3 days each month. Also stitching on other things in those days. So I have the next one ready for pulling flosses and kitting up for next month. And you guys tell me what you think. So, I'm not really a brown person at all. You know, if it's something that needs to have brown in it, fine. But if it doesn't, like these letters that are done in gingerbread from Classic Colorworks, I don't want to do them in that color. It seems a little dull to me as well. So I kind of thought about maybe doing like a red, white, and blue thing. Because there's, you know, there is, the I is white, the W is red, the lemonade's yellow, so that kind of throws me off a little bit. The A in the letter apple, I don't know, it looks like it's maybe a green, some kind of green. So I thought about red, white, and blue, and then just leave the lemonade, you know, yellow. But, so June, July, August. I guess so. Well, no, it wouldn't. Like my decor is going to be, like I'll have some patriotic stuff, of course, you know, around July 4th, but, you know, I want to do like beach theme, the bees theme. So I may end up picking like an overdyed, highly variegated overdyed floss to do those letters in, and then just do, you know, solid or not quite as variegated on the ones that spell out the words. I've got some that are from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers that are really, really variegated, but I just don't know if I have anything that'll go with this. So they're kind of maybe more pastel. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm very glad to have that FFO'd. I did get all of my little pillows sewn up last night. So all of these little spring letters are sewn up on the back. So now I just need to put the trim on them. I kind of thought about leaving the trim off. But gosh, I really like that trim. So I just hope it doesn't, I hope it accentuates them and doesn't overpower them. So that's all my stitching. I've done a little bit on my daily challenge things, not a whole lot, because, you know, just haven't been doing a whole lot of anything. Like yesterday was the first day that I felt like I could eat, you know, a normal, like normal day of food. And still had to take some Zofran. Today I haven't taken any Zofran, so hopefully I won't have to. I was going to say something. Oh, my daily challenges. So I'm going to go ahead and let this run for 2 weeks, for the full 2 weeks. You know, I'll end it at the end of this week, and I'll show you what I've accomplished as far as my daily challenges at that point. Today's theme in the Crafty Matriarch is youth. And so I have this little thing that I made when I was in elementary school. It's probably the first thing I ever created, but it was decoupaging any kind of picture that we chose from, you know, whatever the teacher had onto a board, and then gluing some velvet onto the back of the board and a little hanger to hang it. So I have this little piece that has, I'm pretty sure it's Holly Hobby. But she's sitting on a fence. She's turned back toward where the camera is, you know, photographing her. And she's looking over her shoulder at a little bird that's on the ground by the fence. And so I really would like to have found an embroidery pattern to recreate that for today. But I couldn't find anything. I found a lot of other stuff, and, you know, I thought about maybe doing something else, but I've decided to just, you know, I had to order something and wait for it to get in. And, you know, it's like, if it's not here for today, then what's the point? I mean, I would like to still do one day, but, you know, I've got 1,000 other projects in the fire. So I think what I'll work on today for youth is my baby Afghan for Project Linus. Growing up, I spent a lot of time with my dad's mom, like a lot. Every weekend, I, spent the weekend at her house. Once I got a car, I spent a lot of weekdays at her house. Um, you know, I just spent a lot of time with her and loved her, miss her so much. But she was always, very, she was talented needlework wise. She sewed. She, I don't know, really know if she quilted. I'm sure she must have. I know she made me like, it was all the rage like back in the 70s, the patchwork skirts. She made me a patchwork skirt. She did teach me how to sew. She did crochet. She was left-handed, so she couldn't teach me how to crochet. She made fishing nets, which years later, when I started doing tatting, I initially learned how to shuttle tat. Um, and that motion was very much, I could see my grandmother, sitting there making her nets with her big long shuttle with the nylon twine on it. Um, it was the same, like pulling it real hard to flip that knot. Um, but when I was older, young adult, one of my friends did teach me how to crochet. She was left-handed, but she crocheted right-handed. I guess that's the way she learned. So when she taught me how, I, of course, was thrilled that she taught me how. And, just working on my first project, watching my hands do it, I could see my grandmother's hands. So I probably will work on something, work on that baby blanket, as a remembrance of my youth and my grandmother. So I've been watching quite a few things, quite a few new things. I'm still watching Silent Witness. I'm up to about season 21 on that. I'm watching Waking the Dead. I'm on season 5 of that. It's a little quirky. It's probably not my favorite, but I'm going to continue watching it. I like the characters enough to do that. Some of the storylines are just really weird. What else? Sanditon has started again, so I'm watching the episodes of that as they come out. I'm watching When Calls the Heart as they come out. I discovered the other day I've been having Around the World in 80 Days in my watch list on Prime on the Masterpiece channel. I don't know how I didn't realize that David Tennant was in it, but I did the other day, and so I've started watching that. Oh my God, I love it. I think I'm on like episode 3 or something, but I just love him. So, watching those things. Speaking of When Calls the Heart, if anyone watches that show and has wondered, like I did, about Joseph, the character Joseph, and Cooper and Angela, watching it, I was like, especially Cooper, the little boy, I was like, that's got to be his kid. Like, he looks so much like him. And so I went on IMDb, and that is his kid. So, some new things that I've been watching. I started watching Chelsea Detective, which is a new series. I think it's on BritBox. Watching that, like it a lot. The guy that plays the main character is actually Dr. Fuchs over on Sanditon. If you watch Sanditon, it's the same guy playing both characters. I don't know if I've said that I've started watching Traces. I know I mentioned it because Martin Compston's in it. At least he was in it the first season. I don't know if they're coming back or not. They kind of went off at the end of the first season. They may come back though. We'll see. But anyway, I'm watching that episodes as they come out. I discovered the other day on Friday when my husband was back at work and I was just kind of laying around. I went and laid in the bedroom where I do my stitching, where there's a TV. And I don't know if something popped up or whatever, but something made me go to the Roku channel. So the TV that I have in my sewing room here and then the one that I have in there. The TV in here is a Roku TV. The TV in there is not a Roku, but I got a Roku box to turn it into one. I really like their service much better than, like, we have a Vizio in our living room. I hate it. I hate the streaming on it. Anyway, I discovered the Roku channel, and on that channel there's quite a lot of things that are like blasts from the past. So I watched only one episode of Supermarket Sweep. Loved watching that when I was a teenager. Watching it with my mom, and her screaming, get the ham. But it's real cheesy watching it. The host guy with his weird sweaters, and the cheesy looking people that are on there, with their 80s hair and stuff. So I only watched one episode of that. Because then I discovered that Carol Burnett show was on there. So I watched quite a few episodes of that. I love the Carol Burnett show. I always have, always will. Cracks me up. Oh my God, it cracks me up. Especially, Tim Conway and Harvey Korman when they get in the scene together and Harvey Korman loses it. That's just like the best TV ever. I also watched, a few little snippets of episodes of Bob Ross painting. There was like episodes of Hunter, the cop show from forever ago. But there's also a Roku original called The Newsreader. And I've watched 1.5 episodes or so. I started watching the second episode last night, and our internet went out, so I didn't finish it. But I like it a lot. It's based in Australia, and I can't remember the guy's last name. His first name's Robert. He played Longmire, which is one of our favorite series on Netflix. But he's on it. It's all about, TV newscast and the people and the egos and, all of that. And this one, precious little producer who can't wait to get on air, and he gets on air and he just flubs it so bad. But there's also like, the female anchor, she's got some emotional problems. And so it's just very interesting. And it's like set in the 80s, like 1986. So like, the episode that I started watching last night was, they were doing stories about Halley's Comet coming back around. So been watching a lot of stuff. And of course, FlossTube. I think that's all I've got for you guys today. I don't know how often I'll film this week. I may just come back at the end of this week and close out. It just depends on how things go and what I feel like doing, honestly. So, yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, everyone. Today is Friday, March the 25th. And I think I'm going to close this video out today. So I've got a lot of stuff around me. I did get some haul in today. One of my market orders came in from the Cottage Needle. So this is my first Plum Street Samplers pattern. I think it's so pretty. And then the back of it has this little extra little pattern for a pin keep. And then I've got Teresa Kogut's Newcastle Bouquet Biscorn U. This, I have the sampler pattern. Let's see. Doesn't really give a lot of instructions for fixing one. It just says to go to YouTube and search for finishing a Biscorn U. I've never finished one of those, so that'll be something new. And then also Teresa Kogut's Let Love Rain. So let me just see. There's several patterns in this, so here's one of them. Sorry for jerking it. And then, of course, there's the big sampler. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling lately like I just want to stitch samplers. Crazy, I know. And then Love Your Family. So that features one of my very favorite all-time quotes from Mother Teresa. And that is all that's in that booklet. And then I got the sampler book pattern. So I basically just sort of looked through it. I would say that I'm a little disappointed. They don't have all of the patterns. You know, you still have to go to Rainbow Gallery to get the free patterns of the chart. She, you know, lists out all the colors that are used across the whole alphabet. And then she'll tell you, you know, for each chart, what colors are used. And then there's, let's see, 4 pages of instructions on finishing the book, making the pages, and then stitching the cover design. So this is something that disappointed me a little bit. So this is the cover design. Now, I don't know if this person just decided just to write her name down at the bottom or stitch her name down at the bottom, but there is no alphabet in this chart. Like, I mean, I know you could, I mean, but not really. I don't know. I would have thought they would put, you know, not only the numerals, but put, you know, letters so that you could, I mean, you can go in and get the, like an L from the actual block. But I think this area is too small to do that with the other letters from the chart. So, I don't know. We'll see. It does say basically that I'm doing mine the opposite of the way it should be done. I kind of felt like, I don't know, for some reason I was thinking the fold would go toward the binding, and I guess she does it the opposite. But, I mean, I think I can make it work. I definitely will make it work. So anyway, that came in from Cottage Needle. I did want to say that I feel like just a like dumb idiot. I don't know. This right here is not ice cream. This is, I guess, apples. Apples and flowers, I think, is what it is. So apples and apple blossoms, I suppose. I did go online and order a variety of different overdyes from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. They really have some ones that are really, really variegated. And so, like there's one that's called Wildflowers, and it sort of goes from, you know, like greens to yellows to purples. Let's see. Let me go to their site real quick. So, threads, cottons. Let me do backwards sorting. I have this one that's just gorgeous. But like this one, I thought that would be, you know, just pretty to just sort of graduate it down in the alphabet. Um, I don't know if there's any other that, you know, like really stuck out to me. I'm sure there are, but anyway, when that order comes in, I'll be able to pull threads for that. So, cross-stitching wise, I finished my hip hop jar, not FFO'd yet, but just FO'd it. I really need to FFO it. I have my little Easter display that I'll insert a video of or pictures of. I don't know, I may insert them at the beginning of this video. You may have already seen them, but it's basically my Easter display, spring Easter. I'm really excited about it. It looks a little crowded, I think, but I'm so excited to have, you know, a lot of pieces that I stitch to be able to display and decorate with. But I need to get this one finished so that I can replace the bloom jar with this one. And I have some really cute ribbons that I bought to finish this with. So I'll probably FFO that one this weekend. So got that one done. I've been working on Elizabeth Weston still, and it's a lot of stitches in this, guys. I mean, I looked at it last night and I don't remember. I think it's over 2,000 stitches that I have in this month. So okay. So I got done with the big flower. I started working on the bird. I got done with the smaller flower on top of the bird. And, you know, some of my spacing's off because I have whatever errors in there, but I'm not worried about it. Like I, you know, cut off stitches that I needed to cut off and just said, I'm not going to fret over it. I'm not going to frog anything. You know, when you're looking at this whole sampler on the wall, you're not going to see these little, you know, errors that I made. So, you know, I was hoping to be finished with this week already, but it's just not going to happen because I've still got to do all of the, not all of the bird, but this goes on to the next page. And then I think it even goes on to another page, like at the bottom of it. I'm not going to do all of that. I'm just going to kind of stop it when I run out of the color or thread. But then I still have this, this big leaf to do too. And so just a lot of stitches. Like I said, it's over 2,000 stitches already on this page this month. So I did, when I got tired of stitching on that last night and I was still wanting to watch TV, I did work some more on my flowers and bees stitch along. This is a freebie from Doreen Jones on her Facebook page. And so I got done with, this one. And then I started doing the border on this one right here. She released the last part of it today. So I'll go ahead and insert a picture of the whole chart here. And I just think it's beautiful. So I saw someone online in the group. I wish I had thought about this, you know, before I stitched all these flower centers that have like, you know, 2 stitches of one color. She put like pearls in the middle of the flowers. I thought that was real pretty. And she has hers on a really, really beautiful cloth. So, yeah. I don't know if I've said yet in this video. I think I have, but that's 14 count Ada, printed Ada from DMC. So that's all the cross stitch that I have to show. So let me show you the other things that I got done over the last 2 weeks with my daily challenge things. So I did make some progress on the Sea Quilt. I don't remember if I had all of these done, but I finished these corner blocks, and then I'm working on these blocks that go in the middle, like right here. The red ones are in the corner, and then these go in between the little fishes. And I started stitching some of the fish blocks together. So making some progress on that. I stitched some last night, I think for the first time in quite a while, you know, like since I got sick, on the baby Afghan. So I got a few more rows put into that. Basically, I've finished like the pattern, and then now I just have to repeat it like 3 times, I believe. I did finish stitching my Grasshopper Quilt block number letter B 2. Man, that's like really, it's kind of wonky, but I'll make it work. I mean, this is like really way beyond where it should be, but I really try to get the points to match up better than I was worried about the, you know, than I was worried about this. And I think I have enough there to, you know, when I stitch the blocks together, I have enough right here so I won't lose this point. So I got that one done. And then I have parts of the next one cut out. So I'll start working on that hopefully today. I stitched some more on my embroidery. So I got a good bit of it done. It's really nice. It's just sort of mindless, you know. Since it's already, you know, the pattern's there, all you gotta do is follow it. So today the theme in the Crafty Matriarch group is Purple Rain. I was like, yeah, I got this. So I did work last night, and I'll work some more today on this diamond painting. Let me take the cover off. I just think it's beautiful. I mean, look at that sparkle. So I might be able to finish this today, honestly, because once you start on it, you don't want to stop. You're like, okay, just one more color. Okay, just one more section with that color. Also, during the week, they had Puppy Day as a theme, and so this is the very first diamond painting that I ever received or bought or owned. My daughter, Lakin, gave it to me several years ago, probably, she was still with Adrian at that point, so probably 4 years ago, I don't know. It's been a while, and it just sort of sat there because it's like, I don't want to start another hobby, but I'm hooked now, so. But anyway, this is a picture of what he's going to look like. If you don't know, I am obsessed with bulldogs. This is square drills. I don't like them quite as much as I like the round ones, but I think it's going to be okay. I thought I might try to finish this one for my husband for his birthday's in August, so I might be able to get it done by then. But when we were first together just dating, he watched, I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was a Clint Eastwood movie that had an English bulldog in it, and he's like, those dogs are so neat, I want one of those. And so he found one, we went and picked it up, and he was our baby. You know, we got married, we got married at our house, standing in front of our fireplace. The ceremony had to be stopped for the small little grandfather clock he had on the mantle. When it started dinging 8 o'clock, we had to stop. And then, you know, you hear Bull in the background, you know, heavy breathing because he was walking, you know, running around with the kids, chasing the kids and all that stuff. So we had him, and then he passed away when Kimberly was probably 2 years old. I don't remember when we got Watson, but one of my friends in Louisiana, she had a friend that also likes bulldogs, and she lived in Texas, and she found they had a flyer at her vet, and she said, it said, you know, basically, we have this dog. He's not fitting in with our lifestyle, and, you know, we just want to give him to somebody. And so she took him. They already had several dogs. And so she actually gifted him to us, and he was the best dog. Watson was the best dog. He's no longer with us. Then we had one that we adopted from someone in the area who needed a new home because they had had a baby. And we actually had to put him down because he scared us. You know, when Michael said, you know, hey, if he ever grabs onto you and, you know, won't let go, you know, just lay on him until he lets go. And I'm like, okay, I don't think we should have this dog if we're that worried about, you know, him doing that. And so we called the people that we adopted him from. They didn't want him back. I hated it. He was a brindle. He was so pretty, but, you know, I just couldn't risk, you know, one of my grandkids getting hurt. I just couldn't. So since that point in time, we just kind of, you know, I don't know, come to terms with the fact that we're just going to have to love them online, and, you know, and just, we're not going to have any more. You know, never know. God knows, but that's our feeling right now. So I've been thinking about, you know, I was saying the other day, I want to move this and rearrange stuff. I really want to paint in here. I really want to paint. I really want to pull up the carpet. This is the only room in the house that still has carpet. The idea of replacing the carpet with tile or with anything, I'm not going to put carpet back though, but just, you know, replacing and having to do all that work with everything that's in here is a little more than a little daunting. So I think what I'm going to do is focus on, I have some paint colors that I picked out quite a while ago. I think I'm still going to go with those colors. It'll be like a subtle pink on the wall. And I think what I'm going to focus on is getting the place in the closet office little room for this to hang. I'm going to concentrate on getting that, you know, paint it. You know, I have to pull everything out, of course, and paint it. And then hopefully I can get my daughter to lay the flooring for us. Michael laid the flooring in the other parts of the house, but I just don't know if he's up to doing that at this point. He could, and, you know, Kim and them have a lot going on right now too. They're in the midst of getting ready to build a house, and they're just doing a lot of stuff to their house that they're in now. So I hate to pull her away to come and, you know, install my flooring, but so anyway, I'm really itching to paint and do stuff in here though. So I think that's all I've got today. I think that's it. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll be back next week. Hopefully no sicknesses, no, you know, none of that. Hopefully we'll start off next week with a bang and keep going all week long. So anyway, I love you guys, and I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week. Bye.